But if it sounds incredible that the U.S. would use Klaus Barbie, later convicted in France as the Butcher of Lyon, consider who else played a major role in the Nazis' escape route. None other than the Vatican.
The Vatican then had an entire system of monasteries and convents. My estimate is that we sent some 60,000 fugitive Nazi war criminals to Argentina after World War II, during a 5-year period.
These are the archives of Argentine immigration. Everyone who registered into the country is listed here. After the war, when the Nazis began flooding in, some were so bold as to use their own names. Here's an entry from June of 1948. Schroeder, Erich Emil, says he was an engineer. Erich Schroeder was the Gestapo chief of Portugal. Some, of course, didn't use their own names. Here's an entry from July of 1950. Clement Ricardo says he was a technician. That's Adolf Eichmann, the Nazi who supervised the extermination of the Jews. And this one from June of 1949 at the very bottom of the page, here's the name Gregor Helmut, who says he was a mechanic. Who was this mechanic? Let's see.
Gregor lived in various Buenos Aires suburbs. For a time, he had a jungle hideaway nearby. But as the newly opened federal police records show, he felt safe enough after a few years to re-register under his real name, Jose Mengele, Dr. Joseph Mengele. He was no mechanic. At Auschwitz, they called him the Angel of Death. He helped select those who would live and die. He tortured and murdered children, particularly twins, with his medical experiments. Mengele is believed to have died in 1979 in Brazil. But we now have proof for the first time that the Argentine authorities knew about his activities in their country and protected him.
The secret archives are hidden in plain sight. The unmarked entrance is here, just off the staff parking lot next to the library. And directly beneath these parking spaces is a massive 2-story underground bunker. Here in the bunker are over 50 miles of shelves, centuries of closely guarded historic documents, the correspondence of royal families, papal letters, and top-secret memos. Most of the Vatican's treasures date back to the Renaissance, the height of the Church's power and its corruption.
The papacy becomes the plaything of these huge families from throughout Italy. Those families begin to rise to power, and those families, after they rise to power, have so much money that they can indulge in trying to take over power at a larger level.
In 1492, Cardinal Rodrigo Borgia becomes Pope Alexander VI, when mule loads of family silver are used to bribe the cardinals into electing him. Once Pope, he poisons his rival cardinals, and then accepts payoffs to fill their seats.
These popes lived like kings. They were corrupt, they were debauched, they had lavish parties, they built sumptuous palaces for themselves. They made Paris Hilton look like a pauper. These are the popes, these terrible popes, these awful popes who created the very things that flocks of pilgrims go to the Vatican to see today.
Pope, the white pope, the black pope, the grey pope, they all control every single breath and action that takes place on the plane of the earth, the stationary flat plane, that is. They control everything. So it's only a recent move, whereas they've hidden the fact that the Pope controls these meetings, the Bilderbergers, the Trilateralists, the Royal, the British Tavistock and all of their secret MK Ultra.
And if I'm not mistaken, the Bilderberg group was formed by a Jesuit.
Well, the Jesuits are the military arm of the Vatican, and they are the men in black. They are at the very, very top of the pecking order.
The recent election of Cardinal Giorgia Bergoglio to the position of Pope Francis I was an unprecedented event the world has never before witnessed. It is the first time in history that a member of the Jesuit order has been elected to the highest position of the Roman Catholic Church. Reactions worldwide varied from jubilation to matter-of-fact acceptance to disinterest. These very reactions reveal appalling ignorance of the true nature of the Jesuit order. Widely regarded as a benevolent missionary order, known for its educational institutions, the Jesuit order, as the Society of Jesus is commonly known, has long played an incredibly influential, albeit secretive, role in the destinies of nations, organizations, and individuals. Rulers, presidents, scholars, and even Catholics themselves, who are aware of the evil perpetrated by this powerful, far-reaching order, have left on record grave warnings that all should heed. Some admit that their own diabolical organizations were modeled on Jesuit principles. Others give warning. A number of those who sought to warn did so at the cost of their lives. Ignatius Loyola, 1491 to 1556, founder of the Society of Jesus and its first superior general. Nor will it contribute a little to our advantage if with caution and secrecy we foment and heighten the animosities that arise among princes and great men, even to such a degree that they may weaken each other. But if there appear any likelihood of reconciliation, then as soon as possible let us endeavor to be the mediators, lest others prevent us. Finally, let all with such artfulness gain the ascendant over princes, noblemen, and the magistrates of every place, that they may be ready at our beck, even to sacrifice their nearest relations and most intimate friends when we say it is for our interest and advantage.
Why black robes? Darth Vader wears a black robe. What the hell does a black robe have to do with anything? The judges wear black robes. You know, Supreme Court judges wear black robes. Black robes represent the priesthood of the planet Saturn, the Saturnalian Brotherhood.
They're all the same cult. It doesn't make a difference who we're talking about here. You could be talking about Satanists, Setians, the worshippers of the great owl at Bohemian Grove, the Skull and Bones Order of Death, the cult of the Black Sun that came out of the Nazi and SS party of Germany. All right, in the modern day, they're top-level international bankers, top-level political figures, top-level financiers, high-level members of royalty, so-called royal families, judiciary, military, high-level military, people involved at highest levels of media, highest levels of medicine, highest levels of education, secret societies and fraternal orders, think tanks, intelligence agencies, you name it.